In Antarctica, it's cold outside in Antarctica.
Well, whether it's hot, whether it's cold, whether it's hot, Frankie's got the weather we got. Wait a minute. Well, whether it's cold, whether it's hot, Frankie's got the weather, whether or not. There it is.
Oh, welcome to the Comedeorological Report. This has been a very tough show to make. The Comedeorological Report is the comedy meteorology show, the comedy weather show from Canada. I'm your host, Joey Only, here in Wells, British Columbia. Generally, we make the show on Thursday nights, and we are all poised to do so, and we're quite happy and ready, and smiles on, bells, whistles, but then the power in Wells went out, as so happens in the mountain town often. In fact, the power went out this morning again, just to remind me. And then, so I drove my kids into town tonight, but then my truck broke down, so I had to have my ex-wife come and rescue me and then I hitchhiked back, but that's okay because I got a ride with a woman who's moving into my building, so that worked out nicely. I'm home. I can't get my camera to work on my computer even, so I don't know what's going on. We're making a radio show, at least, even though we didn't get the show done in time for Prince George to have their Saturday morning airing on CFUR 88.7 FM. They do re-air the show generally on Tuesdays at 4 p.m., so you will hear the show. We're recording on the 3rd of April, Sunday night. And Winnipeg, CKUW 95.9 FM, you're going to be hearing the show today for you, so Monday the 4th. So that will make some of our, for the first time, weather reporting actually sort of relevant to you. I've had quite a week. Yes, I was even sticking my head into bear dens and looking at bears. Beautiful fur. I almost want to reach in and pet them.
Oh, they like that, I heard.
Oh, yeah. You know me, and that's a true story. You can find that on the Joey Only Caribou Weather Dude, a YouTube channel. That's where we broadcast the video version of the show. Unfortunately, the video version of this show won't have my face this week. It's got this nice photograph from the past, this sort of handsome, devilish-looking look, which isn't really what I look like most of the time. Maybe it's helping me to not have my face in the show tonight. Maybe ratings will go up. We are here with our panel of cometeorologists from all across Canada and the world. Of course, we have, as always, the fabulous, famous Frankie MacDonald from Sidney, Nova Scotia, our weatherman with the most. Two of our regulars are here right now. We have Imogen Cookie Bailey over in Victoria, just south of me by about 1,000 kilometers. Joe Stover, he's not in Churchill, Manitoba tonight. He's in good old Winnipeg, where, he's still rooting for those Jets, no matter how bad it gets. But maybe he'll be going to the Times Change High and Lonesome Club tonight. He can say hi to my friend Andrew Neville and all those people. For all you friends in Winnipeg, listen, if you are a student at the University of Winnipeg, this show, if you are in the meteorology department, is required learning. It will be on your finals. Pay attention to everything Frankie says. The correct answer may just be prepared. We also have Travis Simpson back. He's over in New Brunswick, and we have a new guest, Jeff, who's down in Brazil. So I'm sure we're going to have some wide range of weather reports. Of course, Frankie MacDonald.
Frankie! Ladies and gentlemen,
How you doing so far this week, man?
I'm doing great so far. And the weather is still going to bring a lot of snow in Sidney, Nova Scotia. Tomorrow, 15 to 30 plus centimeters of snow. 30 plus centimeters of snow is going to bring a lot of snow. And in Vancouver, British Columbia, it's going to bring high winds and heavy rain. It's going to bring 75 to 100 millimeters of rain in Vancouver, British Columbia, and up around Victoria, British Columbia, 15 to 20 for Victoria and Tofino. In Vancouver Island, they're getting a lot of rain. The same in Washington and Oregon. They're bringing a lot of cold weather in Ontario later on this week. And they got cold weather going all the way down Florida. The power went out on Thursday night because of the storm that hit your area. And the power went out on Thursday night the power went out in Wells, British Columbia on Thursday night because it might have been the weather there where you're at.
It most certainly had something to do with it, I'm sure, Frankie. How's the weather been in Sidney?
Right now, it's beautiful. It's a calm before the storm in Sidney, Nova Scotia. Right now, they had an earthquake somewhere in the Philippines. And they had another earthquake in New Caledonia and up around. And it's going to bring a major severe weather all across Texas, Alabama, Louisiana, Texas, and Alabama, in Arkansas, in Georgia. because the Donna Mantis is getting more severe weather tomorrow. So it's going to head towards Alabama, Georgia. Extreme meteorologist Reed Timmer will be up to full force chasing tornadoes and things like that. It's going to bring the heavy tornadoes.
How many tornadoes do you think there's been so far this year, Frankie?
Lots of them.
Lots of them. What's going to be going on for Ontario and Central Canada, Quebec?
Over in Quebec, they're going to bring a lot of rain all across Montreal and all these places. And it's going to bring high winds and heavy rain. It's going to bring cold temperatures in Montreal, things like that. It's going to bring snow later in the week in Montreal or rain in Bonaventure, Quebec. And then in Montreal, it's supposed to get lots of rain on Thursday and Friday. It's going to work its way to Bonaventure, Quebec, where Monica is at. And up around and down, and it's going to bring a lot of Santa Ana winds in California later on in the week. Bonaventure's getting snow and rain on Friday. And it's going to bring a lot of high winds in all across somewhere in California with fires and things like that. It's going to bring a lot of fires in California, like forest fires. And in Vancouver, in Central America, to bring a lot of cold weather in Central America. South America is going to bring in Venezuela, Bolivia, Peru, Ecuador, northern Brazil, down in Argentina. They're bringing a lot of thunderstorms and rain. And so is Colombia. They're bringing a lot of snow up in Helsinki, Finland, and all these places. And Norway's bringing snow, so Sweden and Finland so far. France already had lots of snow this week. UK is bringing a lot of windy and rainy conditions. Oh my God, in Japan and up around Japan, and they're bringing a lot of cold weather in Japan and warm air, cold air fighting each other. And in places like in China, they're bringing lots of cold weather in China. So South Korea, North Korea, Vladivostok, Russia. Even Russia's getting colder weather too near the Finland-Russia border. Egypt is getting cooler weather too. Morocco had a lot of rain so far in up around Rabat and Casablanca. Morocco's been raining lately, and up around places like in Sydney, Australia, they're bringing a lot of rain right now and thunderstorms and cooler temperatures because fall of the year there. They're bringing lots of thunderstorms and rain in Congo, DR Congo, Uganda, Gabon, Zimbabwe, Angola, Zambia, Kenya, and all these places, and Mozambique and Madagascar, because the rainy season's coming to an end. Bangkok, Thailand will be in a rainy season, so Indonesia's still getting a lot of rain lately because the rainy season's going to end later because La Nina, the cold waters in the Pacific. Sydney, Australia is bringing lots of cooler weather and rain, and New Zealand's going to bring cooler weather too.
Here comes the story of the hurricane.
And there's a possible typhoon heading towards Japan. It's going to bypass Japan sometime next week, but it's long ways off yet.
Any more cyclones, typhoons, hurricanes?
There could be a few more in Southern Hemisphere yet. Atlantic hurricane season starts on June 1st, 2022.
Frankie, what's it looking like for Western Canada this week?
In Western Canada this week, it's going to bring a lot of rain in Vancouver, Victoria, and high winds in Seattle, Washington, Portland, Oregon, and Northern California. It's going to bring colder temperatures in Vancouver, too.
What about Winnipeg?
They're bringing we're going to get snow and rain mixed in Winnipeg midweek, where Joe Stover is at. Then it's going to bring snow and rain mixed in Thunder Bay, Ontario, too. Then it got warmer temperatures for a short period of time in Vancouver. Then sometime around next week, cold air is going all the way down to California. That's going to bring a whole lot of rain in Los Angeles.
What's the weather been like in space?
Solar flares shooting from the sun and things like that cause the North Pole and South Pole temperatures to be warmer than normal.
What's the weather been like on Mars?
Dry, dusty storms, very, very strong winds and things like that, blowing dust around. On Saturn's moon, Titan, it's been raining liquid nitrogen up in Titan.
So on Mars, we have evidence that Mars once had water. There would have naturally been oceans. What do you think the probability is that they had sharks?
They might have had sharks on Mars once upon a time.
Given the weather systems on Mars, is there a chance that Mars would have ever had Martian sharknadoes?
Slight chance. Slight risk.
Chance.
How about a typhoon infested with sharks? What is the probability?
Does anybody have questions for Frankie MacDonald?
Sharknado.
Sharknadoes
Sharknadoes needs a bunch of sharks.
Sharknadoes.
What about the weather in St. John, Frankie? What's going on there?
Supposed to be a flurry of snow in St. John, New Brunswick as well. And it's going to bring in St. Stephen, New Brunswick, including Calais, Maine.
Is there any possibility that we'll get a little bit more than that?
Yes.
This is Frankie MacDonald, my own TV station live in Sidney, Nova Scotia. Massive snowstorm is headed towards Nova Scotia on Monday, April 4th, 2022. It's going to bring up to 30 plus centimeters of snow, especially in Halifax, Nova Scotia, and Cape Breton, Nova Scotia, including Sidney. It's going to bring a lot of snow. Winds are going to be very strong. It's going to cause blowing or drift of snow reduced visibilities, dangerous and treacherous driving conditions. There'll be blown snow, drifted snow. There will be big loose waves crash on beaches, shores in Nova Scotia, including Prince Edward Island, Charlottetown, Tosco hit Cape Breton, Shelburne, Yarmouth. Streets, roads, highways, and Trans-Canada Highway will be snow-covered in Nova Scotia. Winds are going to be very strong. It's going to cause blown snow, drifted snow, howling winds, reduced visibilities, dangerous and treacherous driving conditions in Nova Scotia and Prince Edward Island, including Halifax, Nova Scotia, and Sidney, Nova Scotia, and Cape Breton, Nova Scotia as well. Winds are going to be very strong. It's going to cause blown snow, drifted snow, reduced visibilities, dangerous and treacherous driving conditions. That's going to cause a lot of blown snow, snow drifts around. People in Nova Scotia, be prepared. Have your winter boots ready, winter jackets ready, hats and gloves and scarf and ski pants is ready. Order your pizzas and order your Chinese food. Buy cases of Pepsi, buy cases of Coke. Do your grocery shopping. Don't wait till last minute. Do it right now. Make sure every Samsung Galaxy shirt, Samsung Galaxy smartphone shirt, Samsung Galaxy tablet shirt, smartphone, cell phone, laptops, tablet shirt, every 3G, 4G, 5G, and LTE internet ready as well. When you drive a car, take your time, drive a car, slow down, so you don't get into car accidents. When you go for a walk, be very good for walking since adults and for all. Make sure if your furnace is ready, turn on your furnace to keep those warm. Drink lots of green tea, white tea, red tea. Drink lots of green tea, keep you warm. And for extra blankets, ready, keep you warm as well. Make sure if your shovel, snow scoop, snow blower, snow plow, salt trucks ready as well. If you have anybody living in Nova Scotia, be prepared for a massive snowstorm on Monday, April 4th, 2022. Take care, stay safe. Don't get caught in a massive snowstorm. Stay warm, be safe.
Then you got rain headed for your area later on in the week.
Oh no.
Noelle
Corey.
Chaos is entering the room from Vancouver, BC.
Oh my
Perfect.
god.
Well, so we haven't ever had Jeff on the show before, so I just thought we'd take a second here and say, Jeff, welcome to the show, and you're down in Brazil. Tell us
Yeah.
about the weather in Brazil right now.
Hello. I'm glad to be here. It's my first time here. Here in Brazil, it's been getting chilly. I bet in the United States, it's probably getting like warmer. I used to live in New York, so about this time, it's about spring. Here, it's
Trav.
starting to get fall.
I'd like to
So it's
introduce
cooling
the
down.
new person from Brazil. His name is Jeff. I got lots of fans in Brazil. You would tell anyone in Brazil about Frankie
Not
MacDonald.
really. I don't know anyone here who knows about Frankie, but I know that Frankie is well known around the world.
Frankie is a legend. It is
True.
amazing
He's
how
a
many
Jeff, you
people-
could let people in Brazil about Frankie MacDonald so they can learn about me.
I'll try.
Soon everybody in Brazil will know who Frankie is. They'll put a big statue of him right next to
Exactly.
Christ the Redeemer in Rio de Janeiro, maybe.
That'd be awesome.
Yeah.
One of the things
I
that
live,
I think is absolutely fascinating is on the Roger the Wild Child show, where Frankie's also a regular, they interview celebrities. So there's a lot of very well-known guests on there. And it is absolutely incredible how many of those guests have expressed their fandom of Frankie and have mentioned which of his videos are their favorites. And it's kind of interesting seeing these very well-known people just get a little bit almost starstruck when they're talking to Frankie, who's just here to talk about the weather. It is fantastic.
I first found out about Frankie because of his funny skits that he does on YouTube. The impersonations are pretty good.
So how's that
Right
weather
now it's
down
been-
there?
Right now, it's been raining a lot.
We've had a cut, like last month was really hot, like probably the hottest of the whole year. And now it's starting to get really cold where I live. I live in Balneário Camboriú, which is considered like the Dubai of Brazil because it's a relatively new city that's been evolving rapidly. It's a very beautiful place. If you ever want to like come to Brazil and visit for vacation or something, this is like, it's paradise. But over here right now, it's starting to get real cold. It's already 20 degrees Celsius, roughly.
I got something else to say. Miami, Florida had a major hailstorm today. It had Kendall, Florida had a severe hailstorm today.
I drove through a hail and snowstorm today, Frankie, before my truck broke down and I got stranded on the side of the road, and it left about 8 inches of snow and slush and ice in a matter of an hour or so. A real strong squall just came down like crazy. I live up in the mountains here in northern British Columbia, and right now there's snowbanks nearly twice the height of myself still out my window. So it's we got a long time to go here, living at 4,000 feet before spring fever comes. What do you do in Brazil?
What I do, well, right now I've enrolled in a university and I'm studying civil engineering.
Excellent.
I just recently finished high school. I graduated here in Brazil. They have federal institutions that they provide a high school education on top of a technical degree. I think that's what you call it. I'm not very good with the English translation to some of these things.
Feel welcome to ask questions of any of the guests, and when we have our open discussion, feel free to openly discuss. And if anyone has questions, anyone have questions for Jeff?
I have questions, but it's nothing I can ask on the air.
Wow. I feel like I already know what you're gonna ask.
There are a few
because I get asked that all the time.
I bet. So if there is a radio-friendly answer.
The question is, I mean, Brazil is like obvious, like where I lived, it doesn't feel too different than when I lived back in the United States, because I lived in kind of like an urban environment, so not a whole lot has changed. But the major difference is that I live close to a beach now. That's a plus.
Pony Island Beach wasn't the same as the Brazil one?
No, I mean, where I lived like a 3-hour drive away from New York City along the Hudson. It's a very beautiful place. I love the Hudson Valley.
Nice. Joe Stover, nice to see you back after your brief phone call there. So there was, while the power was out, some hockey happened on Thursday night.
Oh, geez.
And there was a game of hockey that was being played in which my team, the Toronto Maple Leafs, I believe, was playing against your team. What's your team again?
Oh, the Winnipeg Jets.
The Winnipeg Jets, right?
Yep.
That's the team that we scored 7 goals on. Is that correct?
Yeah, that's the one. So I mean, where are you guys starting the Cup Parade? Is it going to start on Yonge Street? Is it going to start on Dundas? Like where is that going to happen?
Well, we know where yours is not going to happen.
Good answer.
Leafs have pushed you out. So you just come from Churchill, Manitoba, and you had Northern Lights shows abounding. Then you took the train ride down. You can tell us about that. You're in Winnipeg, and you may be going to see Andrew Neville and the Poor Choices at the Times Change High and Lonesome Club tonight, if I'm not mistaken.
Well, that was last night actually. What had happened was Casey and Clayton were supposed to play at the Times last night, and I was very much hoping that my train would be on time so I could go see them, but I wasn't holding my breath because the train is always late. Supposed to get into Winnipeg at about 4:30 p.m., but it lately has been getting in, midnight, 1 o'clock. So I really wasn't holding my breath. And then sure enough, the train was.
Why don't they just go faster?
I know. Well, they were going we got to Winnipeg at about 6:30, so only about 2 hours late. And I thought, well, hey, this is going to be great. And then it turns out that Clayton has COVID, so they had to cancel the show. But they were able. John Scholes was able to quickly get Andrew Neville and the boys to play a show, and they did. So we went yesterday to see Neville and the boys play. So it was super awesome. The weather has been really good up north. In regards to the Northern Lights, of course. I mean, last week there was that big, huge solar flare that came from the sun that basically illuminated a good chunk of the northern hemisphere, the northern hemisphere anyway. And there were folks in North Dakota and Montana, Colorado, Wyoming, they were able to see the Northern Lights actually really, really well. And there were some places that had, Northern Lights overhead in southern latitudes, around Brandon. and such. And that's really kind of unheard of. So it was really cool for folks that maybe that are Aurora fans that don't get to see the Northern Lights as well as we do in Churchill. Like, I mean, it's not like I take them for granted or anything, but more often than not, I'm going to go outside and see Northern Lights, which is a super cool perk of living in Churchill. But just that the whole light show that a lot of the country got this past week was I was super pumped for those folks. And there were some great pictures of all the colors that they can give off, you know, reds and blues and pinks and things that you don't see all the time with Northern Lights. Usually you're going to see white and green. But yeah, like the reds and the blues and the purples were just all over the place. And it was just a fantastic show.
So has anyone ever been so busy staring up at the Northern Lights in Churchill that they weren't looking behind them when a polar bear was sneaking up?
You know, I'm sure it's happened once or twice. Like, it's sometimes the lights are just so breathtaking that you just stop what you're doing and all you can think about is the light show on top of you. So usually if you're out and about though, walking around, it's not polar bear season, because usually during polar bear season there's not that many people walking around Churchill. They're usually getting rides. So there's not too many opportunities for polar bears to sneak up on you, let's say.
Polar bear problems in Manitoba.
Has anyone ever gotten in a fight with a polar bear up there?
A fight?
Yeah, bare knuckle polar bear boxing.
Yeah. Has anyone just like walked up to a polar bear with their boxing gloves on? Like maybe they just came out of the bar or something, and you know there may be just like looking to pick a fight with a bear or something.
I'm gonna tell you, I haven't seen it because the bear's gonna win. Not even 9 times out of 10. The bear's gonna win 10 times out of 10. So it's a kind of a fool's endeavor to try and pick a fight with a bear. Though there are some people that have been walking and have been surprised by a bear and they have nowhere to run. The thing is, like, you don't play dead. Like, that's a common misconception, is that
not with a polar bear.
With a polar, you play dead. No, polar bears eat dead things. Playing dead isn't going to work for you. But what you can do, this is kind of like a last ditch effort, is you just try and bop them on the nose. That's like the one weak part. You know, like the Death Star had the exhaust port.
Yeah.
For a polar bear,
it's like a grizzly bear.
It's the top of their nose.
You literally boop them on the nose.
All their nerves are
them.
concentrated on their nose.
Exactly. So that is your last ditch effort.
Yeah.
Go for his
them in the nose and they run like hell.
That's exactly it. Like, you bop him on the nose, and if you get him good enough, then the bear's gonna deal with why his everything hurts, and you can make your grand escape.
But consider this too: their olfactory glands are to the measure of 20,000 times more powerful than yours or mine, right? So you think of what a sensitive and delicate machine that must be. Gabriel Berardo has made it. He's in the house. So greetings to you, Gabriel Berardo. We will get to you. We haven't talked to Imogen yet as well. So we're going to get to her quickly. And then we're going to talk to Travis and Gabriel. Gabriel Berardo, do you have a rap for us tonight?
I don't have one right now, which is kind of sad. I haven't really had one in so long. I mean, it was.
I know, man.
Because I wasn't ready for a show, honestly. I didn't know that there was... There was, of course, going to be one today since, yesterday. But, I mean, what I've been kind of watching is a lot of, sports recently and everything like that. And looking at the weather, right? I mean, it's been quite cold here recently over the last few days. But, I mean, Monday a high of about, 8 Celsius. Tuesday 8 Celsius. I mean, then we kind of warm up from there. And I'm also seeing at least one 20 Celsius day next week, I think, actually, which would be great, right? Since I am working a lot next week, right? I would like to be kind of warm outside instead of cold. But I mean, it will be quite warm here recently. And also, speaking of the sports, I was actually watching the Raptors versus Miami Heat. We have lost that one. It was really, really, really close though. But there's just 3 more games left. We're in we're in 5th place right now, and then we will of course likely get a playoff spot. But we will of course have to see who will be versing in the playoffs. It could be the Bulls. It could be the Philly. We're gonna have to see about that. But I mean, and of course that's it. But watching some, sports and everything like that, right? I've been tracking the weather. I don't have a weather wrap right now. Sorry about that. I haven't really been focused on the weather wraps
We got
lately.
half an hour of show left. Speaking of weather, Prince George, listeners at CFUR 88.7 FM, if you do catch this re-airing Tuesday at 4 p.m., you can expect that night cloudy periods, a low of -8, so a little bit chilly on Tuesday night. Wednesday, increasing cloudiness, high of 6. Wednesday night, cloudy, of low of +1. Getting a little warmer, though, as we get towards the weekend. Thursday, a mix of sun and cloud, high of 12. Nighttime, 40% chance of showers, low of +4. And some more of that coastal influence. Right now in southern British Columbia, there's some terrible weather going on down south. But we don't have any radio stations playing us down there, so I'm not going to spend too much time talking about how nasty the passes are. But if you are driving still anywhere in the province, remember that British Columbia does require you to have your winter tires on till May sometime, depending on what pass you're going over. Friday, cloudy with a 40% chance of showers, a high of 11. Cloudy periods on Friday night with 40% chance of showers, low of -4. Imogen Cookie Bailey, how miserable is the weather down there on the coast?
This island is a sink sponge. It's gross, it's soggy, our infrastructure sucks, and the roads are deteriorating. It really is a senior's paradise. I say that because we have a really high retirement population. A lot of old people here, and this is not a good place for them. Monday, we're going to actually get a lot of rain. Today and Monday, Sunday, Monday is going to be a lot of rain. The rest of the week is going to be scattered showers, little bits of sun poking through, little bits of rain. Basically, the crazy girlfriend of weather. That's what this area is. Noelle knows what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
She's not far away.
Yeah.
Right away.
Yeah. So,
Alright.
Vancouver's seeing a lot of the same things. And the Fraser Valley, which is about an hour east of Vancouver, is seeing the very beginning of a rain and windstorm. I have the wet shoes to prove it. And that storm is rapidly moving its way into Vancouver. And we're expecting about 30 millimeters of rain tonight. Yeah, as Imogen said, our infrastructure is wildly unprepared considering it rains 6 months a year here. And people also, not only do they lose their mind about snow, but I've also seen people be like, it's raining, and I should probably, and they lose their minds on the road too. And I'm like, how can you not drive in the rain? It literally happens for 6 months at a time. And also to correct what you said, Joey, during the lower mainland, the one highway that requires winter tires, which is the Highway 99, the Sea to Sky Highway, their winter tire requirement ended on the 31st. So the only highways still require tires are up in the mountains.
Well, for the rest of the province, though,
Yeah.
the lower mainland is a bit of an aberration. For the rest of the province, that is not the case. For example, I believe here in Wells, we're required to have ours until June 1st.
Yeah,
I think there's some that expire April 30th as well. But the Sea to Sky Highway is the first one to lose their winter tire requirements, just because we we're our own nice, warm little island down here compared to what's happening in the rest of the province weather-wise.
Yeah, we lost our requirement. Winter tires are no longer required as of March 31st on the island, if I got it right.
Yeah, it's the same. Yeah, it's the same here, March 31st.
And in Vancouver lies on the Cascadia subduction zone that lies between North American Plate, Pacific Plate, and Winnipeg Plate. They had a 9.0 magnitude earthquake in the year 1700.
Vancouver can't escape major earthquakes forever.
People in Vancouver, you can't escape from major earthquakes forever. That's why they have to do earthquake drills in Vancouver.
Have you ever had to do an earthquake drill?
I did one in elementary school once.
Yeah, those never made any sense. Like the earthquake drills where they told us to stand in a doorway. It was the stupidest thing, and we would question it. As children, we're saying, how does this make sense? You're telling us to stand in a doorway, and there's one doorway and 30 kids. So it was really dumb.
May the strongest kids survive.
Survival of the fittest, baby.
When the whole wall falls, and you're basically just holding a doorway and making yourself a bigger target to get smashed by stuff.
I went under the desk and had somebody ask, "Why did you go under the desk?" And I'm like, because when everything falls down, it's gonna fall down on the desk instead of my head.
If you got a decent desk, yes. The school desks, no.
Well, but still, like, I think I was probably like maybe 9 or 10 years old and hadn't actually considered the structural integrity of the desk.
Well, yeah.
You are listening to the Comedy Meteorology Report, the Comedeorological Report. I'm your host, Joey Only. Winnipeg at CKUW 95.9 FM. You hear the show at noon. Today, mainly cloudy, clearing in the afternoon. Wind becoming southeast 20 kilometers, gusting to 40 near noon. A high of +5. Wind chill will be -6 this morning, but that'll clear up by the time you hear this, I'm sure. UV index is moderate. Clear tonight, becoming cloudy near midnight. Winds southeast 30 kilometers an hour, gusting to 50, low near 0. Tuesday, like Frankie said, rain, high of +3. Periods of rain, low of 0 at nighttime. Wednesday, periods of rain, high of +4. Wednesday night, periods of rain or snow, low of -2. Cloudy, high of +5 on Thursday. Clear at night, low of -7. High of 9. Low of -4 at night on Friday. Travis, are you still there? I don't think we've got to you yet. You're on the other coast over there in St. John, New Brunswick. Talk to us about how your spring transition's been. Most, a lot of Canadians have never been to St. John, New Brunswick, so they have no reference point to understand what would spring be like there. What's April 1st like on the East Coast?
Right now it's pretty rainy and pretty foggy. And that's pretty much it. Like, it's been rain and fog over and over again.
You get some rain, then you get some fog, then you get some rain fog, and then some fog rain,
Exactly.
and then a little bit of fog.
Rain and fog, and then the fog and rain.
And then fog and rain.
Fog and rain. And
Exactly. That's what we get here.
Seems
That's
like
it.
it's raining for everyone.
Not here.
Especially
No,
St. John.
just
not
snow.
here.
Where I live, it's been raining for the past week straight, every day.
Jesus.
Rain
Well, I
all
mean,
day.
yeah, I mean, that must really suck. I'm really sick of the rain, especially the
Jesus.
snow. So thankfully that
Bruh.
there's no more snow in the next 14 days. Well, I mean, yeah, that's what the forecast is showing, unless there's some drastic change that somehow brings a low in snow. But hopefully that won't
True.
happen.
Speak for
I hope that the
yourself,
snow's
TV.
over. yeah, man. I mean, like, the snow is just not fun anymore.
Frankie,
I
what
mean,
would happen? Frankie MacDonald, what would happen if it rained for 40 days and 40 nights?
It'd be worse than Vancouver rain for 29 days 2 decades ago in a whole month. 29 straight days of rain in Vancouver. That happened 2 decades ago.
That happened on January 2006, as a matter of fact, and I was in Whitehorse for the entire month. And at the very end of the month that I was in Whitehorse in January, it had been -25 pretty much the whole time I was up there, and fairly dark, but it was nice. And I saw a weather report from Vancouver saying, Vancouver has just broken the record for 29 consecutive days of rain. And I said, nice. I'm so glad I'm in Whitehorse right now. And that's how I feel about being up here in Wells, despite how bad it is. But I mean, what's been going on right now is, so I leave Wells for work in the morning, and then I drive all the way down the mountain, and I finally get to Quesnel, 80 kilometers away, and it's 2,500 feet lower, so there's no snow there. But hey, I'm still loading a snowmobile on the truck, and then we drive for 75 kilometers past all this nice, land, where there's grass and things that you can stand on, rocks and stuff like that, surfaces. And we keep driving past that, and we go to just the most miserable place left, of course, in West Fraser side, Quesnel. So get the sleds out and off we go. So that's how I came to find myself with a little black bear in my plot this week. And we looked inside the den and saw it sleeping in there. You can see the video on Joey Only, the Caribou Weather Dude, on my YouTube channel. Joey Only, Caribou Weather Dude. It's a pretty good channel. Come on, subscribe. Help me out. Frankie, how many subscribers you got on your YouTube channel?
277,000 subscribers.
So he's got 276,000 more than me. And but you can maybe help bridge that gap by, subscribing. Like everybody here has, right?
Yes.
Totally.
Of course. I've literally subscribed. You're good.
And I got big news for you.
I
Nova
subscribed
Scotia
5 times.
Buzz is making Frankie MacDonald shirts. Like Frankie says, be
Oh
prepared
my-
and order your Chinese food shirts. That's where the Last Cod left off. And the Last Cod clothing company in Halifax has shut down in early 2022. Nova Scotia Buzz is going to replace the Last Cod to make Frankie MacDonald shirts and other things.
Right on, buddy.
Amazing.
Right
Yeah.
on.
Wait to get mine.
Have you seen the designs yet?
They told me that they had to work on it because they had to get a master file. So they make a high resolution. That means they're going to let me know by Friday. They are setting up the store. That means that people can buy them online and in retail locations in my area.
That's awesome, buddy.
Amazing.
Can't wait to see what they come up with.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
great, Frankie.
I hope maybe they'll make special Frankie MacDonald. I got to hang out with Frankie MacDonald at the total solar eclipse in Sidney, Nova Scotia in April 2024. Because I am going to be there. Let me tell you.
Same.
I
I
can't
like
wait.
my own.
I
I
can't-
have my own Frankie MacDonald thermometer to hang in my room.
Oh, that'd be cool.
Yeah.
Frankie MacDonald Weather Station.
And,
Yeah.
and what's the scoop on the COVID-19 and their restrictions?
In Vancouver, and across BC, basically all of the restrictions are lifted. We're no longer venues, restaurants, bars, everything is at full capacity. Dancing, mosh pits, mingling between tables, everything is allowed. We don't need to wear masks anymore. As far as I know, the requirement for the vaccine passport ends on April 8th, but I know there's been talk among a few different music venues how they want to proceed going forward. Some are still encouraging masks, are considering keeping the vaccine passport in place.
Oh my god.
And so we'll just have to hear
Okay.
on April 8th what's happening going forward.
Here's the thing, like it's over here in New Brunswick. Like, sorry to interrupt, but like it's over. Like, isn't gonna happen anymore. Like, it's done.
That's what you think.
What about Jeff?
Yeah,
what about
well,
Brazil?
Here in Balneario, they have pretty much done the same thing. They've uplifted the restrictions. It's up to the establishment if they require masks or not. But for the
And
most
I got
part, you
something.
don't.
I got something
You
to
get
say.
to choose
over
if you
in-
want to wear a mask or not.
Over in China, they're in the lockdown in Shanghai, China.
Yeah, well,
Yeah, here it's
in,
not an obligation to wear a mask anymore, unless the store, like if you go to a store and they ask you, you have to wear a mask, then you're required to wear a mask.
Yeah.
Outside
Red.
of that, you don't need to.
There's nothing
that
here though.
in,
Like, you,
it's like that
if they
in
force you,
Manitoba.
if they try to force you here, you're literally like you can force. Like, you can go to court. Like, New Brunswick has totally lifted everything. Like, if they even come against you, like they've even asked you, like, where's your mask? Or like, I want you to wear a mask.
For the
or
most
whatever.
part, I've
you can go to
noticed
court.
that. I've noticed that every store that I've been to like in supermarkets or whatever, they don't even bother with masks
Exactly.
anymore.
But yeah, you can go to court here over that.
Yeah.
So,
Well,
Especially.
in Manitoba, it's all the restrictions have been lifted, but there are there's still businesses and and stuff that ask you to do it. And I mean,
Nope.
it's
Not
not,
allowed
a big,
here?
I mean, it's not really that big of a deal here. It's like
it's because here the city gives out vaccines for free for anyone who's a resident of the city. And by this time, everyone would have at least gotten 2 doses of the
Yep.
vaccine. I'd say 2 doses is
They don't care
basically
what you hear
sufficient,
anymore
but,
in New Brunswick.
I'm still gonna get the 3rd vaccination.
Of course, but they don't care what you hear anymore in New Brunswick. They literally, Blaine Higgs, our premier, basically said the other day, and it made a lot of people angry, that everybody's going to catch COVID and it's inevitable. So get over it. And it made a lot of people very upset. And that's from our premier. Mm-hmm. That's from our
Well,
premier.
I mean, right. Everybody will, I guess, eventually get it, whether you're vaccinated or, of course, not. We all have, of course, got it. Probably everybody on this. No, actually, I don't think that Frankie got it.
I got it.
You get it, Frankie?
I've got it.
You get it, Frankie? Did you get it, Frankie?
Don't know.
Oh yeah, see, he doesn't know, so we probably didn't get it. But
I didn't get it.
He got the vaccine.
To be fair, a lot of infections are
No,
show
and no,
zero
I
symptoms.
mean-
so Frankie may have had it 25 times and not known. Like,
Exactly. I was triple vaxxed and I got it. And the only reason why I knew because I was pale and you're pale or whatever. And I was like, oops. And then I was like, yeah, gotta take a test. And I took a test and it was like pretty bad.
Yeah, you could just add that little beep sound, Joey,
True.
if someone
Talking about
accidentally
COVID makes him
swears.
angry.
Right? You could
It's actually harder to add the beep sound than you think.
It is true. It is hard.
It is, but
I imagine editing it would be annoying, having to hear
It
that
is.
beep noise constantly.
I
My
just,
personal
I just cut
opinion
it
on
out.
it
not swear.
Exactly.
is
I am a
You
very
cuss?
sweary person.
Oh, I
just
know,
found
I'm-
it out from Russian troops are fleeing Ukraine.
Good.
I'm like,
Yeah, Joey. Same time. Good.
One half of the world is interested in the species and climate. Other half of the world is more interested in World War III.
I'm a very sweary person. I'm a total hillbilly, so it's
Same.
It's quite
I'm a
difficult
New
for me
Yorker.
to
That's
utter-
like in my blood.
Yeah,
And
that's
Joey
the thing.
understands
Over in
that.
Russia, they
Joey's
ban
pretty
Pepsi
cool.
and Coke. They ban a lot of Western culture stuff in Russia.
Well,
Did they ban swearing?
A lot of Western companies decided
Yet.
more Western companies have boycotted Russia than Russia's boycotted Western companies. Like a lot of companies decided to announce that they wouldn't be doing business there. But then we've also
Aw.
seen evidence that that's just blatantly not true. For example, Instagram saying that they would cancel service there, but
Good.
people in Russia are still using Instagram. So clearly it hasn't been canceled. It's
So they got
there's
because
a
they
lot
can
of
use
PR.
that. They can use
VPN.
that. You know that thing that you use on the internet that gets you. You can go around like a
VPN.
firewall.
a VPN.
Yep.
A VPN.
Which makes your IP address appear somewhere else.
Yep. Oh yeah, I use those for Pornhub all the time. It's great.
Yeah.
For watching or
I don't
uploading.
like the account that I switch over to turn the VPN off and just sign in again.
For downloading or uploading.
Well, uploading is not. I'm behind the camera, so
I doubt that.
my lens has seen a lot of dirty things. I've seen a lot of dirty things through my lens. It makes life good. Just
Sure.
I used to be a rock star.
I don't really believe that, but sure.
Like,
Like to her.
Yeah, Joey's done tons of tours.
Not Joey. Not Joey. I mean,
So I don't know if you guys know about Carnival in Brazil.
Yes, sir.
oh my god! Of course she knows.
Okay.
Last year there was restrictions for Carnival. Basically, Carnival was canceled in a way because you couldn't really attend it. Essentially, they had it completely shut down. But this year they're just like, screw it.
Perfect. I heard something similar about Mardi Gras. In the news that Mardi Gras was going to have a lot of restrictions, or that it just wouldn't be doable because you cannot have a party of that magnitude that's in public with no borders or boundaries and then control the populace to the degree that was required for COVID restrictions. So I think
True.
Mardi Gras was canceled as well. The world's biggest parties get canceled because, how do you do that and not be within 6 feet of someone? It's not realistic.
Well, I think the thing is to respect that, well, one person might be fine, another person might not be fine.
Yeah, but I have like
and
severe medical ailments.
Everybody has a different comfort level and everybody has a different individual situation, and we should just and we need to respect people's rights to make the decision that works best for their situation.
The thing is,
somebody who may be at higher risk of complications may have a different comfort level because they have a different risk, and it's important to basically we must be nice to people with different situations.
Try to remember that we are a radio show.
Yes, of course.
And we are bound by the Canadian Radio Telecom Communication Corporation Telecommunication
CRTC.
Standards.
CRTC.
They own us and they will spank us hard.
The CBCRTC will get me if I forget.
Over in Russia, what things are not allowed to do in Russia now?
What else?
Not allowed to swear in the radio in Russia.
What else are you not allowed to do in Russia? You can't take pictures of military base. You can't take pictures of government buildings. You can't take pictures of industrial areas, train tracks, train stations, and cathedrals and things like that.
You can't. You can't give Vladimir Putin wet willies. That's illegal.
If you take a picture of a house in Russia, Putin will cry.
You can't be gay there.
That is actually legit. That's right, Joey.
That's actually legit.
True. You can't talk about the war there on
in Russia
your
or
news
Florida.
outlet. You may risk 15 years imprisonment.
Imogen.
Wait, seriously? Wow, man. Who would want to live in Russia? I feel bad for people who live there.
What about China?
A lot of cool people in Russia.
Russia's imperialist agenda, and it's the government that's going to war. It's not the individual citizens.
True.
Yeah, I really don't have anything nice to say about our government. I'm very much at odds with some of the things that they represent, but they do not represent the majority of Canadians.
True.
There are a lot of horrible things that our government does that are not widely publicized. And that doesn't reflect the attitudes and opinions and lives of the majority of people living here. No government does.
Yeah, but hey, Trudeau's gonna last at least maybe 2 or so maybe years in office.
Have term limits.
After these 3 more years, he's out of there. Trudeau's out of there. After 3 years.
Good.
Oh no,
we don't have term limits.
He is though. Trust me though, he is.
Dream on.
To make a deal to stay in office.
Trudeau will retire. Trudeau will retire before 2025. I guarantee it. He's not running it. He's not running in the public.
Yeah. Hopefully.
Okay, too much everyone talking at once. Too much cussing.
China? What things are not allowed to do there? Can't speak against the government in China.
Yeah, can't all speak at the same time in China. Otherwise, it'd be 1.5 billion people talking. No one really understand anything.
Iran. Western culture's totally banned in Iran.
You swear. I'm just joking.
Not allowed to watch Frankie MacDonald in Iran.
It's true though.
Yep, there are a lot of limitations on the
Frankie MacDonald
content in Iran.
True.
And a lot of heavy monitoring on it. We also have monitoring in the US. They have the program PRISM that monitors a lot of telecommunication. We have a similar program. I can't remember what it's called, but we do have similar monitoring. Iran's a lot more well known because there are penalties for it. Like it's a lot more heavily monitored on civilian conversations and whatnot. Yeah, no, it's not the CRTC that does it. I mean, they monitor some things, but they have like 9 to 5 type hours. After I think like 8 o'clock is officially when the CRTC stops monitoring the air. They can receive complaints from content after hours, but they're not paying attention themselves. Ask me how I know this. Pirate radio back in the day.
Totally.
On the air after hours, and CRTC isn't watching, so there'd be nothing. There's no evidence. Like, good luck.
Of course.
Lots of
Frankie,
fun.
what kind of things can you not do in church?
And talk and things like that and disrupt. Let the priest talk.
Yeah.
Let the priest talk.
And the parishioners gossip.
Church.
In some cultures, you can't wear a hat or shoes in a place of worship.
I know.
True.
Only the priest can talk in the church.
Well, I'm sure you could talk, like you could whisper to your friends, maybe decide.
Well, not when he's talking.
Me and my
when I show up,
yeah, but
when I show up to church in my pajamas and they give me heck, I just say, Christ said, "Come as you are," and this is how I'm.
The church that means the priest wears a robe. The priest wears a robe. Priest is the only person to talk loud in the church.
Yeah, I know. Yeah. Okay, I know. There've obviously been moments where me and my cousins, I made like them, laugh in church. But there's always that one guy that's always coughing and sneezing in church, and yeah.
Spreading COVID around.
Maybe.
Not spread COVID in a church.
I haven't.
But don't worry, God will make it better.
I haven't. Okay. I actually have been to church last I think year. I think at the end of last year I've been to church. Yeah.
That's
and it's I know.
awful.
Why were you there? What was the context? Why are you there?
Oh yeah, because it was my brother's confirmation, but
okay.
There's some.
They cut his what?
There is some priests that are funnier than other priests I find, and better. There's always that one priest that goes the whole time, and you're just bored as hell. That wasn't a swear word, I hope, but
we're talking about church, so hell is appropriate.
Yeah. I say there's heaven and hell, but yeah. Right? I mean, there's that once in a while that just kind of, they have a really good point, right? They speak all this Bible stuff, but then they don't have a strong voice, and it's there's a name of Jesus, Hosanna in the highest, and I'm like, oh my God, you need some singing lessons there a little bit.
Oh my God, he says he gets moved into the spirit. He goes in. Oh my God.
Yeah, man.
Oh my God.
Conversation.
Hallelujah.
This is amazing. This is amazing.
Although there's
Gabriel, have you ever written a biblical rap?
Oh, biblical rap. You know what?
You got a Bible rap for us?
Yeah, man, bust out some Deuteronomy.
Heaven and hell.
Do you have a satirical Bible rap?
I don't think so, but maybe I should write one. You think, right? I should write a little,
I'm pretty sure the CRTC has things about blasphemy too, so just be careful.
Jesus, I'm Karen. I'm sorry for swearing, right? You know what I mean? I don't know.
Then it's a good thing the CRTC didn't see when my friend's band Cloaca played a punk show in a church.
You don't be blaspheming on my radio show,
There's always one song that makes you think of church.
We're gonna play in a church. Just saying.
It was the only venue in the Fraser Valley, and there's about 3 punk shows that happen there, and I missed the one that Cloaca played. I would have been very curious to see the look on whoever ran the venue when they saw some of their,
again with the swearing. Just make a concerted effort when you start talking. Say to yourself, I am not going to swear in this sentence, because Joey needs to edit every single word out. You know what I'm going to do? Because I don't want to edit single words out, I just cut the whole thing. So you want to have your clip in, don't swear.
You're making so much work for Joey tonight. Oh man.
Now we'll go to a song where this person should have been talking.
Yeah, and also speaking of church again, I actually wonder what priests listen to, what music they listen to, Take Me to Church, the song. Maybe do they listen to that or no? You think they listen to the holy music, Take Me to Church and all that stuff. Maybe, I don't know.
They listen to a lot of
I don't listen
to a lot of different stuff, man.
Paradise by the dashboard light. That's a song about paradise.
They listen to a lot of Sufjan Stevens.
Over in
I have no idea what that
they
is.
have a lot of restrictions. That means you're not allowed to talk against the government over there.
They don't even have Lawrence Welk there.
And the one, and the one, and the two.
And 1, 2, 3, 4.
And the bubble machine. Here comes a Bobby and a CC. How wonderful. And the one and the two.
Oh, you're getting all Vatican on us. Look at you.
Over
Yeah,
in
Lord-
North Korea,
Lord's
you're not
okay.
even allowed to know about the outside world at all. It's total dictatorship. It's a total military dictatorship in North Korea.
It sure is.
I love you.
Yeah, North Korea, you're not allowed to steal,
Well, okay, you're not allowed to steal here either.
not allowed to
Right.
speed.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's mostly for everywhere, but you know.
Also illegal here.
I wouldn't.
Not allowed to go shooting people down the street. But people
Can't
do
do that here
anyway.
either.
Really?
Unless
do it
we change
anyways.
that rule, because I gotta say, there are a few people that I think could, take a couple lead pellets, maybe just a bird shot from far enough away. All it would do is sting, equivalent of a slingshot. But just saying, if that's legal here now, this changes the whole landscape.
Now what you got to do, Imogen, is you fill your shotgun shell up with salt, with rock salt.
Rock salt. Kill Bill style.
Oh yeah, that stings.
Just
You'll
go
take
out
back things you
paintballing.
never stole. You'll take back things you never
But a
stole.
flesh wound.
Confess to future crimes.
We are coming to the end of the hour. Frankie MacDonald, how can the listeners at CKUW and CFUR find you on the internet?
My Twitter is @FrankieMcD. My Facebook is Frankie MacDonald, plus the Frankie MacDonald public figure page with a blue check mark. My Instagram is FrankieMacD984. My TikTok is FrankieDown984. My Twitch is FrankieDown984. My Pinterest is FrankieDown984. And my Twitch is FrankieMcDown984. My LinkedIn is Frankie McDonald. My Snapchat is FrankieMCDON. And my YouTube channel is Dogs and Wolves.
I'm Joey Olney, and we've been here with Imogen Cookie Bailey down in Victoria, and Joe Stover down in Winnipeg, over in Winnipeg, Noelle Chaos in Vancouver, Gabriel Berardo in Southern Ontario, Travis Simpson over in St. John, New Brunswick, Jeff down in Brazil. Please tune in again next week. We hope we'll have a show for you. We always try to do our best that way. You know what I'm saying? Enjoy the weather. This is your show about how much the weather sucks in Canada. Tell your friends, and we'll see you next time.
Hi, Christy. I'm Frankie McDonald. I'm doing great so far. I'm Frankie McDonald. You're listening to Comedian Meteorological Report with Joey Only. Terrible weather, do.
Frankie, the weatherman. Frankie, the weatherman. Who? Frankie. Who? Frankie.
Ladies and gentlemen.